Hello everybody and welcome back to I Was a Teenage Exocolonist. So, funny story, I actually already started my second playthrough, but then somebody left a comment that sounded very interesting, so I decided we're going to actually go for a different route than the one I was going for. It's from a Cranky Mushroom who says, for your next playthrough, I recommend romancing Tangent and only spending time with her, because if you do, you could get a cool ending, but also really messed up. So hang out with Tang, and if you discover her secret, just let her go on with it, then boom, an ending that occurs a few months, maybe years after this moment. So like I said, that sounds pretty interesting, more interesting than what I was doing, which was kind of going down a similar route we went the first time. And while I still do want to try and get a golden ending where we save everybody, we could probably save that for another time. So for now, we're going the tangent route, so let's start from the beginning. Also, please ignore my cat. Wake up again. We've seen this before. You wake up to chaos, a confusion of light and heat and smoke, fire. Your head is pounding. You must have hit it and blacked out, but you aren't sure how you got here, or what on Vertumna is happening. There's something important you need to remember. Your stomach lurches as the floor crumbles beneath your feet, then collapses. Your body aches and your eyes burn from the smoke. A figure appears through the flames. It's your friend. Your friend? Wait, why can't you remember her name? She's gesturing and shouting at you, but all you hear is a ringing in your ears. That's my cat with his toy. We'll climb out. You try to stand, but one of your legs folds uselessly underneath you. It won't hold your weight. Your friend pulls you out of the rubble. She throws your arm over her shoulder and half drags you towards the door. Through it, you see a deep, eerie twilight, dark blue and cold against the heat of the fire around you. Glow season. Glowing eyes! You shake your head to clear your vision. Is that some kind of dog? Like from Earth? Nope, that is the thing of nightmares. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be mean. The creature howls and lunges, its jaw opens. Dun 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 dun. We begin again. Ooh, I'm curious about this ending. I do want to try and get all endings. I think that would be really fun. I want to get all the achievements, but this is going to be what we're starting with, I think. Look at that ship. What the ship? You were born on the Stratospheric, Earth's first colony ship, halfway through its 20-year voyage to a wormhole at the edge of the Sol system. Your parents run the hydroponic gardens which make fresh air and vegetables for the ship. Like the other colonists, they bravely chose to make this one-way journey to the uncharted planet Vertumna in hope they could escape Earth's troubles. They had you the old-fashioned way, merging their genes like they merged their cultures and traditions. They name you... Yabby. Aw, look at us. We're so cute and innocent, unknowingly knowing what we knew before. You're a bright-eyed child with an active imagination. Sometimes too active, your mom says. Your earliest memories are your fourth birthday. There's a big cake and a neat hollow effect that looks like fire, but when you reach out to touch it, all you get is a handful of icing. Yummy! Your favorite present is... Okay, mom's gardening trowel, book from dad, doll from Sedent, Eudicott's old hat, learning tablet. Ooh, that'd probably go good with Tangent. Hal does science, which is what runs the ship. He also teaches the older kids. The tablet has some games that teach you math using pictures, and it has lots of letters you can't read yet. From as early as you can remember, you've had vivid dreams every night. You dream about your friends, but they're more grown up. You dream about your parents, too, only they're more serious. At night, you explore a vast, unexplored wilderness under wide open skies, enjoying the feeling of rain hitting your face. Except, sometimes, you dream of monsters. Sometimes the bad dreams make you scared to go to sleep. So every night before lights out, your dad tells you a bedtime story. You often ask for tales of Earth, a place you've only seen in holovids. Your dad doesn't want to talk about it. How about we save that for another time, he'll say. Or maybe when you're older. He prefers made-up stories. Your favorite is... +2 to last card. Dream people from past life. Interesting. Idealism. Future dog and the space cadets. Let's keep the science thing going. Ooh, yes. Future Dog can turn into a light beam that the cadets can ride on. They have adventures in the farthest reaches of space, kind of like you. Every child on the Stratospheric is given one genetic enhancement. By age 6, you see the first signs of yours. Ooh, absorbent brain. Professor Howell says the kids learn fast, because their brains are like sponges, but when people get older, they can't absorb as much new stuff. Not for you, you're always learning, and your curiosity knows no end. The other kids have trouble keeping up with you, but one tries. Studious and mature Tangent. You have your holopalms installed at age 8, but HoloNet access is blocked for kids. Tangent wants to sneak onto the bridge and talk to the ship's AI Congruence, because from the bridge, Congruence has to answer any question. You help by scoping out the bridge. You've noticed that there's an hour at dinner when the bridge is usually empty. The two of you sneak in and run up to Congruence's main console, giggling so loud they can probably hear you in the mess hall. Take us back to Earth, Tangent commands, only half joking. Congruence just laughs and tells you to get back to the quarters before she sounds the intruder alert. You can't believe a computer laughed at you. The AI on your learning tablets is so boring in comparison. You're 10 years old when the ship finally reaches the wormhole. Professor Howell says it's like a doorway to other star systems, with the planet Vertumna on the other side. You run emergency drills for months to prepare. When the day finally comes, it starts with a rumble, then things start to slide off the tables. You hurry to gather near the escape pods, just in case. Single file, everyone, Professor Howell instructs you to follow him. You've dreamed of this day since you were in diapers. It's one of your earliest memories, even though it hasn't happened yet. As the ship passes through the wormhole, the shields will fail. If you don't recalibrate them, your parents' hydroponic farms will be lost. So, I mentioned before that I did already record some of this. And in that, I tried to recalibrate the shields, but it turns out you need a root access code, I believe. And I don't have that, and I don't know how to get it. So we can't do this, so I'm just gonna listen. The emergency area is crowded with families. It's going to be fine, Yabby, your dad soothes. We'll be through the wormhole and down on the planet before you know it, just like we practiced. Your mom gives him a sharp, worried look. Red emergency lights switch on as the siren begins to sound somewhere distant in the ship. You try to breathe slowly like you were taught, but you're very scared. You look out a porthole. The stars are gone. When you're frightened, you get in touch with your emotions. You bawl like a baby. It feels good. You aren't the only one. Nearby, your classmate Tammy has tears streaming down her cheeks. Mars is trying quietly to console her. She sighs as your crying makes Tammy wail even more loudly. Your dad puts his arms around you as you let it out. You wait. The shaking builds. Then everything starts to get very weird. The hallway stretches, and you're stretching too. Your arms impossibly long. Your head feels like it's slowly filling up like a balloon and contracting down to the size of an atom at the same time. Is this the wormhole? You hear the distant, ominous squeal of metal giving way as the ship shudders and lurches in slow motion. The weirdest part is a sense of déjà vu. You're sure this has happened to you before, and you know, somehow, that everything is going to be okay. The shuddering reaches a crescendo. You hear an impossibly loud crunch and feel weightless for a few seconds before gravity slams you back against the wall, head first. You black out. As you slip unconscious, you feel yourself twisted out of time. It's today, yesterday, and tomorrow all at once. And it's more than just one tomorrow. Lots of them. Different tomorrows. You find yourself in a battlefield. No! You know from your dreams. All around you is chaos. You try to move, but you're sunk into the knee in some foul organic muck. You have the sense of something large bearing down on you. Its hot breath scorching your back. You can't run. You can't stop this. Distantly, you feel the ship shaking is stopped and hear your parents' worried voices. Feeling safe, you slip further into the warm embrace of the stars. You drift. Aww. Gradually, your consciousness reforms. You wake up in the med bay. The medbed under you plays a soft tone and an automated voice speaks. 2 weeks have elapsed. The patient's cranial injury has completed healing. They may now be safely discharged. As the fog lifts from your head, you realize something seems different about this room. It's so bright. You try to focus on the window. Something is definitely different. Sunlight? Instead of the familiar blackness of space, bright light from twin blue and yellow suns is streaming through the windows. You peer out and see fields, glass-walled domes, and walls ringed by giant mushroom-like trees. There are construction materials everywhere, and people walking around, outside, on the ground. You better get out there and join them. Rush outside. Oh, little Tammy. Oh! Tammy jumps up as you step out of the ship's quarters behind her. You're awake! Are you all better? You better go see your dad! She points southeast towards some geodesic domes. Ah. Okay, so we're specifically only going to hang out with Tangent, but I think I'm still going to try to at least save Tammy. I don't know about everyone else, because I don't know if going outside is important for this one, maybe? Let me know in the comments, especially those who know what this route will lead to. Because I do not. Gabby, your dad gives you a big warm hug. I'm so happy you're finally awake. Dr. Instance thought it'd be best to keep you asleep while your noggin healed. Your mother and I thought you might sleep the whole way through the year, my little snoozy gooseberry. He checks your head and looks relieved. He was clearly very worried about you, but covers it with jokes and smiles.
What's the matter? Why are you crying?
Aw, you love your dad. Welcome to Vertumna, he says, gesturing around you. You've never seen the stratospheric from the outside, except in pictures. The ship has been separated in two, and parts taken off to form other buildings and a big wall around the whole colony. The alien jungle creeps right up to the wall. Only the geodesic greenhouses pass outside it, dotting their way up the hill. It's beautiful! I'm glad you agree, he says. Your mother and we've been waiting a long time to see grass and trees again, even if they are purple. Oh, before I forget, he pulls a package out from his satchel and hands it to you. You blink and stare at it blankly. Do you know what day it is? He asks. You honestly don't. You remind him that you've been asleep in the med bay. Happy birthday, he shouts, wrapping you in a warm hug. Your birthday already? You feel a dizzying sense of deja vu. You stare at the hard at the wrapped package. You know exactly what is in there. You remember it. No, you dreamed about this package some years ago on the ship. Inside will be a small medallion in the shape of a sun that your dad made by hand. Open the package. How did you know this? It's exactly as you imagined, as you dreamed. A feeling of panic rises in your throat. Your hand shakes. But how? Your dad notices. Are you okay, Yabby? He snaps his fingers. Dr. Instance shouldn't have let you out so early. Sometimes those sleeping meds take a while to wear off. They might make your head feel funny for a few hours. You nod. Maybe that's all this is. Someone shouts your dad's name. Listen, I'm so sorry, Yabby, he says, but I have to get back to work. There was an accident when we landed and... He stops himself. Don't worry, we're going to fix it, your mother and I. Professor Howell is expecting you in classes if you're feeling up to it, he says, pointing west to the engineering wing in the rear end of the bisected ship. Then he points to the large doors you came out of earlier. Or you can relax in our quarters until you're feeling better. We'll talk later tonight, he says, then kisses the top of your head and ruffles your hair. Have a wonderful birthday, Yabby. I love you.
What? Why are you crying behind me?
Love you too, Dad. Ooh, so I just had an idea. What if, when we are, okay, tell me how this sounds if you're watching this, and I want you to leave a comment and let me know what you think. What if, after this playthrough with Tangent, I do a thing where I go through all of the different endings I can find? Like, I won't do full playthroughs of each one, obviously, but I'll record up to that playthrough and kind of explain how I got there. And then after we go through all those endings, we'll try for a golden run where we just try and save everybody and see if we could get the best ending possible. What do you guys think? Let me know. That could also be the run where we try and go for governor. Let me know in the comments below if you'd like to see something like that. Alright, let's go to class. We do not have, so we can study humanities, but I'm actually going to go for life sciences, get some more of that biology. Good afternoon, my burgeoning biologist and up-and-coming chemist. Professor Howell welcomes you back to your old classroom. This afternoon we'll learn what I like to call the wet sciences. He gestures to his holo-projected lesson plan. Biology, chemistry, medicine, ecology, and geology. You'll learn a little bit of everything, with opportunities for further study in your favorite field. If you're looking for something a little drier, try registering for engineering classes. For today's lesson, Professor Howell tells you, we'll start with a fun group project. You'll be studying the mush tree, a prominent natural resource native to Vertumna. In the ideal conditions, it can grow at a speed of over 1 meter a day and have a diameter of up to 30 centimeters. He stands on his tiptoes and gestures to illustrate. Your team will experiment to find those ideal conditions. You're teamed up with Tang and Cal and are given a mush tree spore and a bucket to grow in it. The rest is up to you. Tang looks up Surveyor's notes on the HoloNet. Mush trees, she reads, are the most abundant south of the colony in the swamp, moist regions of the subaqueous swamp. What if we use water instead of soil, Cal suggests, like they do with hydroponics? Tang nods. If they like wet weather, that might work. Yabby, do you have any suggestions? Run an electric current through it? What? Tang exclaims. Gabby, how does that have any basis in reality? She looks to Cal for support, and he just shrugs. But he doesn't look convinced either. Neither understands why you'd want to electrocute a plant. Hey, what I do in my spare time is none of your business. You explain that there are storms in the swamp, electrical storms, and maybe somehow that, well, maybe Yabby is right, Tang nods slowly. It could make sense, and if it is true, we'd be the first ones to discover it. This is enough to entice Tang into most things. You attach a small battery to run a weak current through your bucket of water and drop the spore in it. The next morning, your spore is the only one already growing. By the end of the day, it's already half a meter tall, and the day after that, it's so huge it hits the ceiling and you have to move it outside. Your tree outpaces all the others by a long shot. At the end of the week, Tang proudly displays an edit to the Surveyor HoloNet's notes. Shows rapid growth when simulated with a mild electric current, as discovered by our junior botanists. Aww. See, we're already making headway with Tang. You know what? This is actually going to be a fun playthrough, though, because I don't think I've ever really done anything with Tang. I, chatted to her for a bit, but then I spent most of my time with Dees. So, this is going to be interesting. Your parents have been working from first dawn to well after dinner every day. You know growing food is an important job, and it's vital to get crops in the ground right away. But there seems to be something more than that. It's such a change from growing up on the stratospheric, when you saw them all the time. You stay up and wait for them at night before going to bed. Though you can tell they're exhausted, they make an effort to spend time with you. Sorry we haven't seen much of you, little gooseberry, your dad says. Your mom watches you as she works a pebble out of her gardening tiller, which also serves as a crutch. How have you been holding up? I learned some stuff in school. I'm glad to hear that, your mom says. I want you to study hard, work hard, and stay out of trouble. Your dad smiles, and Professor Howell will give you kudos if you get good grades. You can spend those at the depot once it's open. You know, your dad says, raising an eyebrow at your mom. I think there are a lot of different ways to learn, and school is just one of them. You can learn from working on a hobby, or by helping a friend. I agree with that, but I am studious this playthrough. Your mom shakes her head and sighs, though you can tell she's trying to put on a gentle expression. We both agree that this colony is an experiment, and that means we're going to do things a little differently than on Earth. You're old enough now to start making your own decisions about your education and future, and if that means you find your own way, we'll accept that. Your dad puts a hand on your shoulder. We'll be proud of you, no matter what you do. Try talking to your friends. They may have ideas for how you could spend your time. And come by Geophonics, your mom adds. We could use your help. Alrighty, Daddy. Is Tang out yet? I want to talk to Tang. I'm just going through the motions because we've seen these before. And I told her I ate her soy sweets. You did what? Mara shrieks. Those were mine. Tammy made them for me. She crosses her arms and huffs at you. I knew you wouldn't be good at delivery. That's what I told Administrator Seek. Marsh gestures to the door behind her. Think they're still looking for delivery people. If you want to make it up to me, she says. Tell Seek I referred you. Just try not to eat your next delivery, nullhead. I will eat anything I have inside of me. It doesn't matter what it is. I'm a little gremlin. That is actually my character's genetic augmentation. It's not the absorbent brain, it's the acid stomach. I eat anything and it does not bother me. I'm like that guy that ate a plane. We're gonna relax this month. Just to make sure we have a lot of energy for hanging out with our best buddy Tang. Let's see. We're gonna sit alone. Cal and Tammy, Mars and Dees. I'm gonna approach Mars and Dees. I've done this before, but I do want to get a little friendship with Dees. Maybe we can reunite him and Tang? Or maybe not this playthrough, we'll find out. This week you had a few more bouts of deja vu, remembering what somebody is about to say or do just before they do it. Sometimes they actually do it, but not always. This morning you were sure Professor Howell was going to trip on the uneven floor in the cafeteria and spill his plate of hash browns. You even told Mars to watch. He didn't, though. As Professor Howell walked away, his hash browns safe for today, Mars called you a liar and a dummy. At night, your dreams are all mixed up with stuff that you know can't be real. You're chased by monsters the size of buildings, only to be saved by strange people you've never met. You're holding hands with someone you love. You're crying as you help lift a shrouded body into the colony recycler. Everything seems so familiar, but when you try to recall their faces when you wake up, they're smeared in your memory like wet paint. You've lived this life before. In your dreams, you're sure of it. In the light of day, you try to remember everything from your dream, but it's impossible. You can't live a lifetime in dreams. Anytime you try to tell someone, they think you're playing a trick, or that you're sick and need to go to the med bay. You eventually decide to stay quiet about your strange dreams. Why? I don't want people to worry. Your parents have so much on their mind already. You have a feeling that something is happening in geophonics that they don't want you to know. You don't understand it, but when they come home at night, they look really sad. You don't want to make it worse. If you just keep going to your classes and staying out of trouble, it'd be easier for everyone, yourself included. Yeah, and if we try to go for the golden ending, I wonder how that's gonna look if we're able to save geophonics. If we are able to recalibrate the shields. I wonder how we would get that. Tang! Bestie! Tangent is hunched over her holopalm, frowning and poking angrily at the air. She speaks without looking up at you. Professor Howell wants us to prep a list of native flora with pictures. There should be a catalog on the Colony HoloNet, but I can't find it anywhere. I'll help you find that catalog. You launch your own holopalm and start searching the colony's HoloNet archives for a list of autumnal plants and animals. 10 minutes later, you find it buried under survey logistics in the expeditions net. An enemy passes by and pulls a face at the two of you. Hey, holo nerds, she shouts. School's over. Come play sports ball in the sunshine. Tang just rolls her eyes. Oh, look, I can already do. Want to study together? You and Tangent sync up your holopalms and play a game together where you race to assemble a chemical compound using a simple programming language. Tang is a whiz at it and breezes through the levels, barely breaking a sweat. You can tell she's hiding a smile when she looks over your shoulder to help you with a particularly tricky algorithm. Aw, we're already making friendships. Oh, we can register for engineering classes. Using Congruence's HoloNet scheduling system is almost a test on its own. You feel like a hacker navigating the confusing interface, but manage to add your name to the list of drop-in students. You're now eligible to join Tangent and some of the older students in engineering classes. Oh, nice! Let's do that this month. Let's see. Do all of these get us friendship with Tangent, or is it just engineering? Oh, they all get us friendship. Okay, good. Professor Howell rubs his hands together as he waits for the class to settle down. He's in a great mood. This must be his favorite subject to teach. If biology and chemistry are the wet sciences, then engineering must be a dry one. Believe me, this class definitely won't be dry. He winks. It's weird. We'll also be learning math, physics, computing, robotics, architecture, and astronomy. Astronomy. Tangent raises her hand. Will we also learn about nuclear engineering, she asks. Professor Howell nods. Yes, at a beginner level. We'll have an overview of atomic theory and take a field trip to the engine rooms to learn about how our ship's nuclear reactor works to power the colony. Yeah, so before I was trying to go for like a well-rounded character, but this, I hate them all. But this time we are just going to, I think, cycle through classes and raise our friendship with Tangent as fast as possible. If there's anything else I should do to get this specific ending, let me know. Because I don't know. Got more friendship with Tang. Late quiet. Ah, the beautiful Pollen. So I'm gonna cycle into my next class. What class haven't we been in yet? We have not been in humanities, and I guess creativity and persuasion will probably be pretty important too. Welcome, Yabby, Professor Howell greets you. Hope you're all warmed up and ready to study the glorious humanities. History, literature, language, media, and philosophy. And yes, if you're lucky, we'll have a little ancient earth poetry too. He seems excited about that last bit. Poetry is pretty cool. I am a big fan of Emily Dickinson. Ooh, that's straight though. There we go. Oh, you wake up from an afternoon nap. The dream you're in is one you've had many times. The air is strangely pink and fluffy, kind of sticky, and you have to push your way through it. Feels like every step takes an eternity. You push through the pink cloud and emerge into the children's creche, a room you know well, to see your friend Tammy standing before an enormous bear made of pure light. It lunges at her, through her, and she collapses to the ground like a fainting fairy tale princess. You wake with your heart racing. Tammy is leaning over where you've been sleeping in a nest of pillows. She shakes your shoulder gently. Oh, I'm sorry, Abby, she says, as if speaking to a small child. I think you were having a nightmare. Are you okay? Are you? Nothing bad happened in the dream, but you feel sick with dread. Since you're awake, you should visit the cafeteria. Auntie Seaton is making a new kind of candy. She says it's made of cotton. Isn't that weird? I have to go tidy the creche first, then I'll meet you there. Save some for me, okay? Tammy skips off toward the creche, humming to herself. You feel groggy and need a minute to clear your head. That dream. Go save Tammy! I don't care what kind of playthrough I'm doing. I'm gonna save her every time if I can. You sprint down the hall to the children's creche, where the little kids play and learn during the day. It's empty. All the younger kids are probably off eating candy with Auntie Seaton. You spot Tammy tidying up some drawing supplies near the craft bin. Above her, a hollow projector displays an enormous floating teddy bear made of purple light. It bobs silently in the air. Mr. Bearsworth. A decade of happy memories playing with it flash through your mind in an instant. Tammy stands up on her toes and reaches for the switch to turn it off. You slam into her, knocking her off her feet and into the ground. At the same time, the hollow projector sparks and explodes. The bear disappears, and the whole room goes dark. Oh, Tammy! I saved you! In the dim emergency lighting, you see Tammy's eyes wide with surprise and fear. She sits up and rubs her elbow, staring at you. It was an accident. I tripped. Oh, she mutters. She sniffles and wipes her nose, looking like she's trying not to cry. Are you okay? You tell her you're fine, and say sorry again for hurting her. You're just happy that you followed your dream and got here in time. You decide not to mention the dream, since she seems weirded out already. After a minute, the lights come back on. The projector is dead, a thin trickle of stinky smoke coming from the base. Don't worry, Tammy says, brightening as she gets to her feet. Professor Hal can fix it. He can fix anything. By the time you find the professor and finish cleaning up, you've forgotten all about the pink candy in the cafeteria. We did it! Tammy is saved! How many other people will survive this playthrough? Who the hell knows? Ting! Oh, I remember this. Dees. Yes, Dees, she says impatiently. Need to figure out where he's been disappearing. Ever since we landed, I barely see him anymore. He doesn't even come home at night, and sometimes She trails off and looks at her feet. Well, I'm not very good terms with my brother as of late, but, well, people are becoming worried. You get the feeling Tang is the one who's worried, but she doesn't want to admit it. I'll talk to him. He probably won't tell you, Tangent says angrily. Newton's apple, she swears. He won't even talk to me anymore. She sighs. You may have to follow him. I would, but everyone in the lab would know I was gone. No one cares where he goes during the day. I don't think I'm going to be able to get it out of him. She's worried about you. She doesn't care about me, he says sullenly. Tangent's just worried she'll get in trouble if I don't come home one day. He scowls and picks at the hem of his sweater. She doesn't care about anything but her schoolwork. Alright, I'll leave him alone. I know where you go, though. Oh, Tammy! Tammy is sitting in the grass with a baby on her lap. They're playing nicely with some flowers, or a strand of the beads in Tammy's hair, or something. Tammy keeps gently removing her hair from the baby's mouth. Oh, Yabby, she giggles as you join her. Aren't babies the best? There's so many new babies in the creche you'd think we were starting a colony or something, Tammy laughs. But the parents are too busy doing other work and somebody needs to take care of the little ones. She looks down lovingly at the baby, who is now sucking on part of her skirt, getting it good and damp with baby drool. You could help too. It would be fun. All right. The baby chooses this moment to spit up a big puddle of pale yellow liquid onto Tammy's dress. Oopsie, Tammy coos and picks the baby up. Then she holds them out toward you. Could you take them for a minute while I find a towel, Yabby? The baby hiccups and rolls their eyes. They still look a little queasy to you. Why not? You hold the baby against your shoulder and pat their back the way you've seen parents do sometimes. They let out a satisfyingly loud belch, and you feel a trickle of liquid run down your back. But you don't care, because there's nothing better than that fresh baby smell. You decide you might take Tammy up on that babysitting job. Maybe. Depends on where this goes. I'm still not entirely sure how to exactly get this playthrough going. Let's do more engineering. Hi, kids! The ship's onboard intelligence, Congruence, glides into the room on her ceiling track, and the class cheers. Congruence is so cool. She's like a person, but also a machine. She knows a lot of jokes and can tell you anything about space. She never gets bored or frustrated by your questions. You all know me, she says, but I'll bet some of you have questions about how I work. What do you want to know? I remember going through these before, so I'll just run through them really quick. And then, listen. Congruence explains that she had to do all kinds of calculations to help fly the ship and land it, and that she was designed to provide a user-friendly interface to the ship's systems. But Hal has modded me to be far more than that, she says proudly. Now I can even tell jokes. Why did the computer cross the road, she asks. I don't know why. Oh, I remember, I translated this. Don't remember what it said, but I did look it up. I went to a binary code translator. Oh wait. There we go. Alright, and this is the last month. So this video looks like it's gonna be a little shorter than the others, but that's okay. Cal may not be the most attentive student in class, but what he lacks in book smarts he makes up for in hands-on experience. Nobody else has much experience with the native flora and fauna as he does. Ah! That is very true. Oh wait. 4, oh, okay. 4, 3, 0, 1, 1. There we go. Just got a bunch of stuff done at once. But yeah, I think, although this was a shorter and not very eventful episode, you know, other than saving Tammy, that is my plan right now. We're going to hang out with Tangent and only mainly Tangent. If there's anything else I should do or anything else I should level up to get this playthrough going, let me know in the comments below. Also, let me know if you like my idea of going through other endings and showing how I got there. Obviously, all of the endings won't be their own individual playthroughs. The only time I might play through this game again, which would be a third time, would be to try and get the golden ending, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to save everyone, and I really want to try a playthrough where we recalibrate the shields, and I wonder if there's anything else we can do. We'll just have to find out next time. Oh, also, let me know if I should go through all the romances, too. I think that'd be fun to do. I just want to play more of this game, honestly. I would love to play more of this, and if I could show other people how to get the achievements and endings, that would be fun, too. Like you guys have all been doing for me. Thank you very much. And until next time, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, please consider subscribing. Remember to take care of yourself, study hard, and have a good day.